Hey everybody, great to be learning with you today as we continue our studies of Masachet Brachot and take a look at the second Mishnah in the 6th chapter, which describes what to do when a bracha goes badly. So we have two goals in our lesson for today. The first is to take a quick review of some of the various Brachot Rishona, the brachot that a person makes before eating food, and then to understand what are the guidelines for making an incorrect bracha. Does an incorrect bracha still count or not? So you'll recall from the last lesson that the power and the purpose of brachot is to show an awareness of God's world. That's the basis of the pasuk which says, La Hashem haaretz umlawa, that God has created the world and all that is in it. And because of that, every time we make a bracha, we show awareness of God's world. And because of that awareness, we have a deeper appreciation for all the things that God has given us. For that reason, the more specific our brachot, the more aware we are. The less specific, the less appropriate our brachot, the less aware we are of the gifts that God has given us in the world. So there is a connection between making the right kind of bracha and being aware of all of the gifts that we've received in God's world. So here the Mishnah is going to describe for us what to do if an incorrect bracha is recited. We'll recall, of course, that the correct bracha on fruits is ha'etz and the correct bracha on vegetables is ha'adama. But what if a person swapped those brachot and made the incorrect bracha of ha'adama on fruits and ha'etz on vegetables? Would that bracha still count or not? So here the Mishnah gives us some guidelines about what to do when you make an incorrect bracha. The Mishnah says, Berach al perot ha'ilan bo'ei pri ha'adama. If a person made the bracha of ha'adama on a fruit, like an apple that grows on a tree, even though it's incorrect, the Mishnah rules, Yatzah, the halacha, is that the bracha still counts. If, on the other hand, you had a vegetable like a carrot, and you made the bracha of bo'ei pri ha'etz on something like that, as the Mishnah says, al perot ha'aretz, for those kinds of produce that grow in the ground, you make the bracha of bo'ei pri ha'etz, the rule in the Mishnah is lo yatzah, you have not fulfilled your obligation. If, however, regardless of the type of produce that you're eating, fruit or vegetable, or for that matter, any type of produce whatsoever, or any type of grain-based product, and you make the bracha of sha'akol, the Mishnah rules that yatzah, the bracha counts and is fulfilled, even though it's not the most specific kind of bracha. So when we return in class, we have to better understand why it is that in some cases an incorrect bracha would count, yet in other cases, an incorrect bracha wouldn't count. We'll get a better understanding of some of those concepts and start to look ahead at the next Mishnah, which describes making one bracha for multiple foods. All of that and much more when we come back together and go a little deeper into the learning when we return.